All right. Now, let me also say, as I get ready to take my seat, we have a really distinguished guest with us today. I'm really happy to have this brother to worship with us today. And he is really well known, and the work that he has done is unbelievably amazing. And he deserves to be recognized and honored. And he's not the kind of guy that goes around looking for recognition and honor, but when you do what you're supposed to do and what you've been called to do, then you get recognized, when you go out. And so we have the distinguished president of 100 Black Men. 100 black, and let me just say, it ain't just 100 black men, that's just a name. But if you don't know, 100 Black Men of America is a national organization, and I will say, as far as I know, it is the leading mentoring organization in the nation. In the nation. They got so many programs for our young people, particularly our young boys, that a lot of people don't pay attention to, or maybe are not even passionate enough about to do anything about it. But 100 Black Men of America is an amazing organization. Pastor Jermaine Heath, who's just joined us over the last couple of months, he is a part of 100 Black Men. So they are national, but they also they have local chapters. And the president of the Philadelphia chapter is Mr. Joel Wilson, who is with us today. And we're glad to have him to worship with us today. And based on how he is leading and what he's doing for so many of these young men who are wayward, many of you know I just had a tragic shooting and killing in my own family and our family, my wife and I, this past week. And our young men need some help, they need some hope, they need some guidance, they need some mentoring. And so thank God for organizations like 100 Black Men who are doing this great job. So thank you so much, sir, for coming and being with us on today. Mr. Joel Wilson, President of 100 Black Men.
So, good morning, everyone. It's been a moving service. Come again. I'm a Cancer, so this is my birthday month. And one thing about Cancer men, we're emotional. So I'm trying to get through this displaying the least amount of emotion as possible. If there's anyone in here who has been impacted by gun violence, family member, friend, either shot or killed, can you just raise a hand? So you can put your hands down. We not only have a COVID epidemic, we have a gun violence epidemic. And as Black people, we don't just deal with those two epidemics. We deal with racism. So I'm not going to be long, so I don't want anyone to think I'm going to be long. I just got 3 points I just want to make, and I'll be going to my cookout as well. So we deal with a lot of young folks. So in this year, we've provided mentoring services to over 300 young folks in the city, primarily boys. That's our focus, boys, 1st through 12th grade. We also have programs for college students. But our young men in particular, they are juxtaposed between racism and materialism. And these two things is causing destruction. There's a term, when you get a chance, I want you to look up. It's called identity foreclosure. Identity foreclosure. It's something that I've been doing mentoring work actually for 35 years. So from the age of 15 is when I was hired as a junior counselor at an overnight camp. And from then to now, I've worked over 10 years in a Black History camp in the summertime. For more than 7 years, I was a scout leader. So I've done a lot of training with young boys. Identity foreclosure what it shows you is that when a young person is unwilling to listen or unwilling to even think about doing anything except certain things they believe they want to do, that's identity foreclosure. You'll see this in a lot of our young boys. If you say, what do you want to be? They say, I want to be a basketball player. I want to be a football player. So 80% of black boys across America have identity foreclosure on three things. One is athlete. And when I say athlete, I'm talking basketball, football. This is a flawed reality. Statistically, less than 1% are going to make it.
That's right.
And if we drill down on football in particular, football is the only profession in which 80% of the people go broke. I'm going to repeat that. 80% of all professional football players go broke. You will not find that if you became, a trash collector, a teacher, a policeman. None of those professions do 80% of the people go broke. But yet, disproportionately, our young men, that's what they want to be. So they want to be football, basketball. Second thing is, Lil Wayne, Jay-Z, they want to be rap artists. And we understand that. But let me just share something here where we're close to West Philly. I grew up not far from here. I grew up in Winfield. I grew up in the dawn of hip-hop in Philly. So I was from West Philly. I used to party at the Wynn Plaza. Yes, I did. So I remember Steady B, Cool C. We're contemporaries. Will Smith, for those that don't know, Will Smith, he was a beast when he was a hip-hop artist here in the city. So you look at the rap artists out of Philly, Steady B, Cool C, a lot of them, they asked Schoolie D, they had mentors. The problem was they had bad mentors. Cool C, Steady B mentors, they robbed them financially of everything they had. And then these were young men that were filled with ego. They ran around telling everybody how bad they were and everything else. So when they was getting robbed and jerked from their own management, they tried to subsidize what they should have been making in the rap music, and they started robbing people. So we get young people caught into this fake reality. They look down at a black man that's a police officer. They don't even understand that black man starting as a cop is making $58,000 a year, starting. No college, $58,000. Some of the best health insurance you could ever get to take care of your family. But they look down on that. The third thing that our young men, and I'm just going to be straight with you, the movies they watch, the music, TV shows, all of this, of that 80% of our young men, 1/3 of them want to be criminals. They want to be drug dealers. That's what they want to do. So as a group of people, as a race, there's no way we can win if 80% of our young men, who should be soldiers for the community, are caught up in this. So this is where the 100 Black Men comes in, because that's who we go after. I apologize. We've had 4 young men shot. 3 have died since January. This is real. If we do not get into the lives of these young people, we're going to lose far more. In the 100, we are not perfect. I love this brother here, Brother Jermaine Heath. We're just regular men who are trying to do something in the community. For this summer, we have multiple programs, and all of our stuff is free. So, We understand the financial problems. So we're not asking you you don't have to bring no money. We've been blessed. Every brother that's a member, we pay dues. Our own nationals, our national chapter, we go after their grants. So we can fully fund our program without getting any grant money out of the city of Philadelphia. So this summer, the stuff that we have to keep young people focused and what we're trying to develop is character, their mind, their body. We actually have book clubs. Some of our young men are going to be reading The Beautiful Struggle by Ta-Nehisi Coates. His father was actually a Black Panther. He was in the Black Panther Party. So they're going to read that book. Real nice, easy reads, about 200 pages. You don't even have to buy the book. We're buying a book for them. Just got to sign up. We have physical fitness. So we're doing 2 workshops in North Philly, 33rd Diamond, right at the park. And we're doing 2 here, right near Kelly Pool. So those are in August. We got a big fishing trip. When we take our kids out on the bus, we used to call it the cheese. We don't go on the cheese. We take luxury bus liners. We actually have a black bus liner we rent from. So we go in style. We're going up to Ridley State Park in August. We got a fishing trip lined up. And then we now have a new building in Germantown. And we're doing a couple activities in the building. We're going to have a game day. Believe it or not, a lot of young boys, they'd never experienced just playing games. Monopoly, Uno, stuff like that. And just that dialogue with men. From all my youth development with boys, I'm going to tell you, boys, we're a particular creature. And it takes us a while for our brain to really function properly. So we're impulsive. We do things. We jump off of buildings. Don't ask why, we just do it. We'll take bikes and run them into brick walls. We do it. We'll eat dirt. So you always have to have that mentor around to give that guidance. And then you raise them up, and then at a certain point, then they can run their own life. But when they don't have that father or that father figure with them, that's when you get this chaos. And they're out here in the streets looking for that family that they don't have at home. So for those folks, we are filling that void. We're filling that void. And last thing I'll say, and I'm going to sit down, we don't stop when they get to high school. We follow them into college. We have programs in college. Matter of fact, for all of our young folks that go through our programs, they are eligible to apply to our national scholarships. So 100 Black Men is the largest provider of scholarships from the Black community. That's a Black organization. So we have, and I'll say this, most of our scholarships actually go to females right now. People don't know that. Most of them go to females. So if you get in our program, once we deal with you, K-12, you have scholarship money to go into college. So our website is www.100blackmenphilly.org, 100blackmenphilly.org. I do have a couple flyers here. I'll give you that. We got plenty of programs this summer. Please sign your kids up. Thank you.